Hi, everybody. Leanne Holitza, not at the healing studio today. Um, I've been under the weather, so I've been at home recuperating. Um, but hopefully back in the game tomorrow. I'm feeling much better than I did yesterday, so I felt like I could come on here and get our weekly journey going anyway. Okay, so because I'm at home, we're going to use the Entre deck because that's my primary deck at home. And so we'll use that as both our weekly check-in and then for all of us. If you haven't done this before, you're going to just type me please for a card. We had a very powerful new moon on Friday. I hope you guys took advantage of that and did something creative for yourself. We definitely something worth checking out if you're local is we're having the full moon party on the 20th. So there's going to be vendors and food and a DJ. So it's worth coming and checking out if you want something fun to do on a weekend night. Anyway, all right, let's get going. So the me pleases. I'm just going to go to the bottom real quick just to tell you who's hanging out that I know that I'm coming. Like Jasmina, hi, I see you there. You can type me please if you want a card, and you already did, I think. And then Stephanie and Natalie, I'm coming, but I'm going to start first with our weekly readings and then come down the list, okay? So just be patient with me as best you can. We'll be normally I get to everybody. It just takes a minute, and you might hear a message or two that's also for you from somebody else's guides. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we're going to start the week off. This is the beginning of our reading, okay? This is the collective part of our reading. So the week's going to start off feeling a little stagnant. Things are evolving, but we can't really see that they're evolving, okay? So this evolution's always kind of happening, but this week it's kind of starting off feeling slow. Okay, but here's the focus. Choose freedom, truthful thoughts, okay? So be really careful not to get sucked into the truth that are not your own, or not getting sucked into truths that um your mind wants you to think that are not true, like limiting thoughts or fears or things like that. So the choosing freedom is choose the truthful thoughts, then ask yourself, is it true? All right, by the end of the week, we've got the joy card sideways, and that's basically saying we're not going to totally be feeling like blossoming into joy at the end of this week. It's going to be there just like the evolution process is, but it's not necessarily completely being felt right then. Okay, so there's the start of the week. If we start to see three cards in a row, or then that means the message is for all of us. But this is the start of your original of your personal reading. Okay, so you're going to do 1, 2, 3. If you're watching this later, thank you for watching later. If you're watching this live, thank you for being with me. And and just kind of a heads up, guys, if you're watching live, ignore the people who put in DM me for a reading. Those are not part of it, and they're getting kind of trickier in the sense that they put them where I can't see it in the comments until later. So just ignore them. This is us together. I don't have any minions in the background helping me. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This is your first card reading. Okay, so just really feel in. Okay, just feel into the number. Which card is yours to start? 1, 2, or 3? Okay, if you picked 1, you're going to be working on abundance this week and being very grateful for all the balance that you might have. Now, abundance isn't necessarily just about money. It's abundance of all the things you want. Abundance that makes you feel abundant, abundant of time, friends, abundant of, rest if you need it, that kind of stuff. Okay. If you picked 1 or 2, you're going to be feeling impatient. Okay. Patience is upside down. You're going to be feeling antsy. This is just kind of probably part of that evolution process. You maybe want things to go faster than they are going. And then if you picked 3, you're not necessarily being clear with your intentions. Okay. So just think about a moment where you can sit down every day and say, this is my intentions, this, and be as clear as possible. It may not be easy to be clear with your intentions this week. There might be something that is still trying to come through. All right, here we go. Starting with Tiff. Sorry, guys, I'm still a little stuffy. I'm working on it. All right, Tiff, your card for the week is the mirror sideways, okay? It says being the reflection, and what this is saying to you is that there's certain things that are not reflecting who you are or what you are at this point. And it would be good to kind of do a little inventory about that so that you can understand that maybe remember that truth card that we got, that maybe the truth is that some things it's time for them to completely go or completely shine on themselves. They're not representing you, okay? Heidi, your energy this week is going to be focused on happiness and being the source of it, but it's sideways. So what this is saying is that this is an opportunity for you to be the source of your own happiness, to be in happiness, be with the truth about where you're denying yourself happiness. And maybe you're denying yourself happiness because you are afraid that if you let yourself just be happy for a minute, you won't make the changes that you feel like you need to make. We sometimes motivate ourselves by being stressed or being unhappy, and we can actually let our happiness be the source of our change. So just kind of pay attention to that this week. Kimberly, space. Okay, sideways. So this is doing stuff to get space for you this week, okay? Actively taking space, actively seeking out space, and including space inside yourself to fill into your infinite self. You know, the Light Council loves to talk about how we are just infinite beings. And so maybe getting in touch with that side of yourself this week would be helpful. Diane? Focus upside down. This is just telling you that this week maybe you're feeling a little unfocused, and that's okay. Get your intentions and affirmations out and get yourself just kind of focused on what you can tell yourself the truth about. And if the focus isn't there, it isn't there this week, and that's okay. You can let maybe that disorganization kind of settle into, giving you some information about what you do want to focus on once it calms down. Okay. Taryn, you also got space in the same way that Kimberly did. Okay. So this is second time we've seen it in this way. So what it is saying to you is that you are needing time to kind of go through and find who you are, find where you are spacious, and see where you're kind of, that truth card is where you're feeling restricted. And maybe you can create your own sense of space. Okay. All right. CC, you're next. Okay, I put it in, shuffled, twisted it around. So you guys, this is for all of us. It came in the sideways. Okay, all of us are going to be finding some infinity space inside ourselves this week. So just give yourself the ideas of, spaciousness wherever you need to take it, whether it be physical space or internal mental space. But this week, take some space. Okay. All right, Cynthia, you got support upside down, giving and receiving. So this week you might focus on where you're out of balance in that, where maybe you have felt a lack of support or lack of support within yourself. And the card is basically saying when it's upside down that perhaps the wrong energies are being supported, and it's time to support the things that are positive for you. Okay. All right, Kara and Tatiana. Kara, completion, sideways, being whole. Okay, so this is basically saying that this is a week for you to do some things to feel complete and to notice where you don't feel complete and where there are holes for yourself. Just kind of making notes. And remember, we're going to set those intentions clearly and tell ourselves the truth as best we can. Okay. So look for the holes where you don't feel complete. Tatiana, your focus for the week is enthusiasm sideways. So this is where you're not feeling inspired. This is where you're feeling stuck, where you're feeling blah, where you're feeling like you can't necessarily handle it because you're not excited about it. And then address it. Okay, you guys, hold on a second. It's not a paid endorsement for Poppy, but I do like Poppy. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Okay, Robin. You got the abundance sideways. So this is a call to check into how you might be looking into abundance. Okay. All right, you guys, give me a second. Maybe sit down and put yourself in this bubble and see, where do I feel in alignment with my truth and where do I not as far as my abundant life? And what can I do to be grateful for what I have and then go from there? I can hear the guides. I just can't talk as fast as them today. Normally, I'm a fast talker, so that's how we get through all this. Darn it. Sorry, you guys. It's the first time I've tried to talk in a couple days. Okay. So focus on that abundance and where it's not there. Chris, you got 1 upside down, okay? So that's basically feeling too crowded, too many people in your space, too many opinions, too much of people telling you what they think. And it's like this week, maybe getting into that space where we think of the spaciousness that we were told to take. And take some space from all those opinions so you can hear your own opinion, okay? Austin, surrender sideways. This is saying that you are going to be asked to actively surrender or allow some things to go. Maybe you do a little releasing ceremony where you write some things down and you send them away floating down the stream or something. But this is a good time for you to recognize that you can't do it all, and nor should you, okay? Tanya. Kindness for you is the focus. Acting with love. That's pretty basic. I mean, I don't really have to say much about that. It's just basically really be as kind as you can. And sometimes the truth is kindness. Sometimes telling the truth is being kind. So think about that. Okay. Janelle, communication upside down. I'm hearing from your guides this week. Don't talk too much. Don't share too much. Don't give too much information away. Be impeccable with your word when you do. Okay. Because it's a week where your words really matter and maybe you're not ready to tell the truth. Okay. Donnie, practice and preserving for you. So this card is basically just saying this is a good week to, pay attention to what you're not necessarily maintaining well and just begin to focus on that. So if I mean, I'm even getting like spaces, like if there's, a pile of leaves piling up over in the corner of your yard, it might be a time to go practice just mindfully cleaning that up. Just tend to your spaces this week, okay? Eli, abundance sideways. All right, but it's the other direction than what we've seen before. But so this is be grateful, be in your abundance, be with what you already have. So not necessarily go do anything with your abundance. Be aware that you're maybe like focusing a little too much lack mindset and be grateful that you have what you do. Chloe, kindness sideways. Okay, so what this is saying is that doing acts of kindness are going to be really important for you this week. So actively finding ways to be kind every single day in truth is going to be the most beneficial thing you could do. I mean, obviously being kind is always a good thing, but for you this week, actual acts of kindness. Lily, second time we've seen this. Okay, so you and Janelle. So we might see this more than once because that's the second time we've seen it. But this week for you, Lily, just don't communicate too much. Keep things to yourself. Keep things to your heart. It may not be time, okay, to share. Kimberly, joy. Okay, so we all got sideways joy for the collective, but you're going to have some joy this week. So have some little blossoming time with that joy. Be sure to, say yes, thank you, more please to the joy, that kind of stuff, okay? Zoe, oh, second time we've seen it in this direction. Kindness. So you and Tanya doing kind things. I mean, it's basics, just to do things kindly. But like Lily was told to do acts of kindness, this is literally just see kindness wherever you can in everything this week, okay? Janice, you're getting 2 cards. You got practice upside down and you got happiness sideways. What this is saying is that you are not practicing being the source of your own happiness. And this week would be a good week to make yourself happy. Go do little happy things. Have your little favorite drink or have your little favorite nibble of whatever. Like, just give yourself time to just be in pleasure this week and practice it. And that will bring you more in alignment with that truth we're looking for. Okay. Aaron. Aaron. All right, Aaron, balance upside down for you. Okay, so just to notice that this week is going to feel out of balance. And that truth card is saying, tell yourself the truth about that. Don't be in denial. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes things go out of balance so that they can get in balance. Okay, so just let yourself see it, though. Don't be in denial. Okay, Nicole, patience upside down. Second time that we've seen that. If you picked that number 2 at the beginning, it's doubling down for you. Basically, this is saying it's going to be a week where you're wishing it's going faster than it is. And just do your best to acknowledge where you're being busy, just be busy, and hold off on doing that. Seth, you're worried about money this week. Okay. The freedom card upside down is always a financial material worry. So just give yourself awareness that this card says freedom and being unlimited. And when you're upside down, you're not being an unlimited thinker. And so just be aware of that. Okay. Sometimes it's in our own mind. Sometimes it's not actually truth that we're in this limitation. So just kind of be in check with it and know that you're in a little bit of a journey with that this week. Addison, sideways devotion for you. Okay, so what this is saying is be loving, be devoted to yourself, be devoted to what you want as far as progress goes, as best as you can, so that you can understand that, not all things feel like they're for you, but they sometimes, even when they don't feel like they're not, for you, they are. And so just kind of embracing like how devoted things have, people have been, and how much action has been around you to show you that you're loved and supported. Crystal, laughter sideways means you're taking things too seriously. Okay, so this week, be as playful as you can. Maybe even get near some water. This card is oftentimes a lot about being playful in the water. So give yourself some time to do that this week. Okay, we'll focus. Helena, devotion sideways again. Okay, so this is the same thing that Addison was getting, which is like, notice where people are showing up for you. Notice where you are supported. When there isn't, sometimes it's easier to be annoyed by the one thing and not notice the 10 good things. So just kind of be aware of that this weekend and notice where people have been devoted to you, things have been devoted to you. Really see how you're being supported. Okay, Terry, money worries for you too. Hope that doesn't show up 3 times. So that's one's just a material worry. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you are having to worry. It's not like the card is predicting financial problems. It's more of a mental state of mind where you're really fixated on material manifestations. Christy, it's just like a caution, right? Okay, Christy, happiness sideways. Being the source of your own happiness, doing the position this is in is doing something to make yourself happy. So doing things to go out and just enjoy that you are giving yourself happiness. Okay, really focusing on that this week. Kira, you got grace sideways. Okay, so that's saying you're being guided, but ultimately the decision is yours. The guides will tell you some things, people can give you advice, but your choices are ultimately yours choices. And so you're just kind of acknowledging that nobody's going to have the answers but you. Okay, Finn, you're bringing the second time support upside down. Okay, so where are you not feeling supported? Where are you not being supportive? Give yourself an opportunity to really check in with that, take some inventory, focus on support or lack thereof this week, and make the adjustments that are necessary in truth. Patty and Hannah. Patty, you got the temple and honoring the body, as I am trying to do. So this is actively doing things to take care of your physical self this week, okay? As we already have, we all have to feed ourselves and sleep ourselves and all those things, but this is like actively find some very specific self-care time to take care of your physical body like a temple, okay? Hannah, your focus this week is choice sideways, which is the choices that have already been made. Don't make new choices or add plan B, C, D. Just stick with plan A and go with that choice in love, at least for this week, okay? Denise, hopefully you saw my message. As I'm talking, it's getting a little bit more clear that it's a good thing it's just you and I today. Okay, inhale, receiving, sideways. Okay, so what that is saying is this is not necessarily the week where everything's going to come to you. It's a week where you're going to be asked to put in your efforts, put in your attentions. The week of bringing the receiving energies will come. It's just not this week. Okay, Catherine. You've got grace up, right side up. So this week, really pay attention to your guides. Really pay attention to how protected you are. Synchronicities, those numbers, those repeating numbers on the clock. That look them up. Look at what they mean. Just really be focused on that this week. Okay, Joe. For you, you're going to focus on abundance sideways. Okay, so this is that energy of the way that it's sideways is basically saying go do active things to check in with your abundance, do things to be more grateful, but do things to also adjust where there's maybe lack. Okay, so this week just focusing on that, not necessarily in there's a problem, but just attention is needed. Andrea, okay, you're bringing to us that space card. Okay, that being so it's reminding us that we've already heard this message over and over. This is for all of us, which is that this week we're infinite selves. It's time to take some space to remember that. This is a good lifetime where we get to really learn how expansive our thoughts are, and just really give yourself a moment to, be in that space. To take care of our spaces too, I'm hearing. Courtney, for you, focusing on completion. Okay, so where are you not being whole or feeling whole? This is not an act for you of going and doing something, but instead being with your complete self, or being with places that don't feel complete, just so that you can have some conversations with those spaces. Okay, Kelly. Kelly, I've got a couple cards coming out for you. Joy sideways. Okay, so this card, this is we're not necessarily, we saw this at the beginning this week. At the end of the week, we might be feeling this as a whole, but you're just not necessarily feeling that full blossom of joy. And attention upside down, that's probably why. There's some worries about some future stuff, worries about, you're too far forward, too far back, like not present, and your attention's kind of taking you everywhere, which can cause you to feel unhappy. So just be careful with your thoughts this week. Be sure to tell yourself the truth. Matthew, attitude sideways. You don't have to say yes to everything, okay? So say yes, but be sure you're saying yes. Be sure that you are not being oppositional this week, but instead lean into what is good for you. Go towards what you want, not what you don't want, not away from what you don't want, okay? Hey, Carrie, compassion for you this week, embracing all beings. Okay, so really let go of the judgment, especially judgment of the self, and let yourself really be aware that you don't necessarily have all the answers. So, and neither does anybody else. So just some compassion is all that could be needed this week. Jenny, I shuffled and shuffled before this came, so it's doubling down on this. All right, a little compassion, keep going, embracing all beings. This is drop the judgment. You don't even know why you would judge anyways. It's okay to let that go. Really focus on being compassionate and open-hearted this week. Sam, completion, sideways. Okay, so the way that this has come through, this is the third time's a charm, so it's for all of us. Where can we be more in our wholeness? Where can we sit with where we feel like we're not complete, and sit with it so that we may know why we don't feel complete, and therefore we can make maybe adjustments about that. Okay. All right. Miranda, for your focus or lack thereof, second time we've seen that this week, being centered or not. It might just not be a week of focus. It might be all over the place, and it's okay. Sometimes when we have a week like that, it just means we have to just go with the flow, and we can see where we're attached to control and where we can't necessarily attach to control. Natalie, temple sideways. Second time we've seen this. So same as Patty, honoring the body, doing something actively to honor the body. Make sure that you are not neglecting your physical self, but also go beyond just not neglecting. Okay. All right. Jasmina, I finally made it down here. See, I said I was on my way. Okay. Abundance sideways again, third time's a charm. So this means this is for all of us, you guys. This card, this is the one I started coughing on when I first started talking to Robin about this. Go sit with your abundance space. Make some inventory. How's my health? How's my finances? How's my personal space? How's my workspace? How's my whatever it is? Okay. Just go and see all the areas of your life. Do they feel abundant? And are there adjustments that need to be made? It's a very personal journey. Nobody's abundance is the same, right? I may really enjoy a lot of friends, and you may be an introvert and want a lot of alone time. Neither one of us are wrong necessarily. So focusing on abundance, write it down, journal it, pay attention to it. Stephanie, blessings for you this week. Okay, so receiving sideways. What this is saying is you're going to have an opportunity to receive blessings, but you're going to need to work at it in order to receive it. So like if I say, oh, you look so beautiful today, thank you, instead of, oh no, this old thing, don't, that kind of thing. Like, don't shun away and receive all the blessings that are there, whether you know or not you feel deserving. Okay. Gina. Gina, intention upside down. Okay, so this is telling me that this week is going to be kind of like that lack of focus card we've been getting, but lack of intentions. You're not being very clear this week. It may not feel like there's clarity available, and that's okay. You don't necessarily always know. And sometimes that truth card that came up is just for us to keep telling ourselves the truth of like, I don't even know what my intentions are, or I don't even know what I want this week, that kind of thing. Okay. Tanvi, I'm just going to throw you a card. I'm not necessarily answering the question about the job. I'm just going to give you a card that's going to give you focus for the week to get what you desire. Okay. What's best for you, your benevolent outcome. Okay, contentment sideways, recognizing the illusion of greener pastures. It's sideways. So what it's saying is that you're going to want to actively be content, okay? When you are working on recognizing, I may not be exactly where I want to be, but I'm moving there, giving yourself a groundedness about that, and just be content where you are, knowing that the change is inevitable and it will always come. But first, being happy where you are, because otherwise you just become an endless pit of needing more and more. Okay. Hillary, we found each other this week. I think we missed each other last time. Breath for you. Stay connected, breathe, slow down, do some physical field work, meaning just like literally stretch and expand and give yourself some time this week, just really settling and centering. Griffin, be clear in your intentions every single day. Wake up, set an intention. Here's what I want to feel today. Here's how I want to show up today. This week intentions will get you far. Birdie, you're bringing us the space card fifth time. Okay, so back to the light council's messages that they basically say like we're like reincarnating lifetimes, and our thoughts go on and on and on. So take some space to get those thoughts organized and to really see yourself in the light of, what those thoughts are doing, and give yourself space from the thoughts that are not helping. Okay. Safari Spirit, Clara. Okay, you did bring this 3 times the charm. I said, I hope we didn't get this one, but okay. So this week, you guys were all a little bit of financially concerned, a little material worry for us this week. We're not feeling unlimited. We're not feeling spacious. Give yourself grace on that. It's just this week. It doesn't have to last forever. And remember, the truth card is trying to get us to tell ourselves the truth about what's there. Sometimes we tell ourselves more lack stories than is true. Karen, okay. Bringing us the abundance card again. So this card is 4 times the charm on this one too. Spend some time, you guys, being clear with your abundance spaces. Sit down, see where you can say, yes, thank you, more, please. And see where you can say, oh, I could need to maybe focus on that a little bit because there's a gap. Bahar, grace sideways for you. Same thing that we already heard for Hannah, which is that you've already, I think it was Hannah. No, Hannah, it's the choices. You've already, this one, the grace card's coming sideways, basically saying you're pushing yourself to get answers from your guides, or you want someone else to have the answers. You want a mentor, or you want a boss to tell you what to do. And it's just not available this week. You have to make your own decisions. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Jasmine. I'm glad I got there. Shari. Okay. Here we go. Last card, I think, because coming to the end, and you're the last one of the in there. Okay, simplicity for you. Act now. Be here and now. Be as simple as possible this week. Every single day, make things as simple as possible. Simplify your life. Have less clutter on your desk. Have less food in the refrigerator. Like, really give yourself some space. Okay, so you can just with some simplification. Okay, so we've got our messages for the week. And it sounds like we've got the biggest thing is to focus on truth and recognize that maybe we're not going to feel super abundant this week, and that crunchy, energy around money might be there, but give yourself some, awareness of just kind of budget if you must, and acknowledge how you're feeling about these things. All right, I'm going to throw one last card for my husband. Oh, he also got the Liberation detached. This is another financial card, but it's sideways. So it's encouraging detachment from the financial energies this week. So it sounds like we all could use a little bit of space from worrying about our bills a little bit. So give yourself a lot of love and compassion on that. And thanks for putting up with my little nasally voice this week. I will see you next week. Bye.